Volcanoes provide us with so much. Gases that feed our atmosphere, and steam that created our oceans. Without them, there wouldn't be any life on Earth. But they also threaten that very life by endangering more people than ever before. So predicting their next move has never been so crucial.
For a lot of people, this is a worst-case scenario.
I'm volcano expert Chris Horsley, and in the name of science, I've climbed up and into volcanoes all over the world.
Get myself ready for a night in hell.
Over 2 years, I dragged a reluctant documentary crew up 8 erupting volcanoes.
Now that one would have killed you.
It's so hot, it's so unbelievably hot.
To help volcanologists collect data and install systems with the ultimate aim of saving lives. In the northeast of Sicily lies Mount Aetna. This is Europe's largest and most active volcano, covering an area of 600 square miles with not only one, but 4 craters. In 2021, the southeast crater burst into life with a barrage of over 50 of the most violent eruptions. Fountains of molten rock are fired over a kilometre into the sky. Black volcanic ash pummels the towns and city below. But luckily, volcanologists are well prepared.
How you doing, pal?
Good. So,
Ready to get some Aetna?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ready for Italian volcanoes. Bring it on.
I'm Chris Horsley, and I'm on the way to Sicily because something's brewing deep within Mount Aetna.
So Aetna's entered a new eruptive stage. It's throwing huge lava bombs out from the summit, and that is its activity that I want to get close to.
I'm on a mission to collect data to help volcanologists understand why Mount Aetna is behaving differently. On my team are UK filmmakers Ollie, Byron, and Caroline. So just out the window here we can see Aetna. You can also actually see volcanic gas cloud. You can see the bluish, sulphurish tinge to it, the sign of lava. I'm pretty sure it's not everybody's cup of tea to climb an erupting volcano in winter in minus 25 degrees wind chill factor. But for me, it's bloody awesome. Our driver and fixer on this expedition is local volcano explorer Giuseppe Di Stefano.
welcome in Sicily.
Nice to meet you, pal.
Nice to
Thank
meet
you.
you. Hi.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi.
How's the activity on Aetna?
So there's an ash emission from the southeast crater and a lava flow and the explosion from central crater.
Nice.
So it's ready.
So that's what we saw when we came in.
Yeah.
We're heading to the control centre that monitors Aetna to make sure it's safe to scale to the summit to collect data.
What do you find fascinates you about Aetna? What draws you to this volcano?
Well, maybe because I've seen my first lava flow when I was 5 years old. Since that eruption, I decided, or maybe Mount Aetna convinced me to follow every day, every eruption, every activity of Mount Aetna.
We're in Catania, the second largest city in Sicily, which sits right at the base of Mount Aetna.
It's always surprising when you drive through cities like this and you see this huge population
Yes.
right next to one of the
most active volcanoes, yes.
And it's erupting right now, and everybody's just doing their thing.
Everywhere we look, there's evidence of the deadly lava flows which have threatened, but also built the city.
So This castle was built here just after the eruption of 1669 that you can see on the right side of the castle, so in the basement. You can see the lava flow here.
Oh yeah, all the jagged...
Completely all this part, and continued for 1 kilometer into the sea above.
The 1669 eruption is the largest on record. 20,000 people lost their lives.
It's beautiful, every turn and through the city. And you just come out into the open and you've just got a vision of Aίτna right in the city. But it's also quite menacing. You know that at any point it could take this land back.
We've come to INGV, the Institute of Geology and Volcanology, to find out how the volcano is currently behaving and if it's safe to actually collect data from the summit.
Hey!
How's it going? I'm Chris. Nice to meet you.
So welcome to our surveillance room. Let's have a look at this. All right.
Boris Benker has been monitoring Mount Aίτna for longer than I've been alive.
So, this is our fabulous, colorful surveillance room. And we do 8-hour shifts, round the clock, every single day. So when something happens like seismic activity or volcanic activity, we can notify the authorities and civil defense. And one of our tasks is also to give advice to warn air traffic.
What are we looking at?
So the signals that we see here have to do with the activity which is taking place at the summit of Aίτna. We have another signal over here, which is the volcanic tremor. Infrasound also helps us to understand where the activity is taking place, because we have about 10 microphones that record infrasound. And this is actually the crater which is actually exploding. This is the voragine. So this is producing nearly all the infrasound in the last 24 hours.
So after seeing this data here, what activity are we expecting on the summit at the moment?
Well, we have seen some of these explosions which are taking place at the central crater, and it's producing this nearly constant, relatively mild explosive activity. Every now and then the explosions are a bit bigger. At the same time, there's a beautiful little lava flow oozing from one side, and it's building a cone in a place that a few months ago was a deep pit. Now there's this cone growing, 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 and it is within maybe 20 meters of the highest point of Aίτna. So we all really, really wish this little cone a long and healthy life so that it becomes the new summit of Aίτna.
So potentially, in theory, this cone could be the next peak of Mount Aίτna.
To become the new summit, exactly.
That's really impressive.
After more than 40 years, then the summit has been another one of the craters. That might be the first time for a long, long time that Aίτna grows.
So I think our plan for tomorrow, if weather permits, we're going to head up to the summit to produce this 3D map of this new crater that's kind of in its infant stage.
That would be very useful, because we have no precise altitude for the current highest point. And obviously it would be interesting to see how far this little cone has grown. And if you happen to come across a beautiful, fresh, new sample, a chunk of shiny black lava, a little bomblet, scoria, then obviously we would very, very much appreciate that, because today the area where they fell was inaccessible. But weather is probably generally much bigger problem than the volcano. So really, really good luck, and I would be very curious to see what comes out of that.
Awesome, thank you.
Perfect.
Pleasure. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
More than 25% of Sicily's entire population live on Mount Aitna's slopes. And it's INGV's job to keep the people safe by constantly monitoring the volcano. I'm here to do everything I can to help gather data. But collecting a fresh lava sample here is easier said than done. The new cone is exploding intermittently, blasting chunks of molten rock into the air. And soon, I'll have to enter this dangerous fall zone to capture one of these lava bombs.
Watch out! If you were hit by that would certainly take your life.
In Sicily, we're preparing for our very first data gathering mission on Europe's most active volcano.
does look like it's going to be high wind up there. It could be quite challenging for people, but it's also a good thing to bear in mind that people will be short of breath, tired, and if they're physically exerting themselves, they're sweating, then also they can cool down quite rapidly. We've got a mission to accomplish, and that takes a whole team to do it.
How you feeling, Ollie?
Quite nervous, actually. The other volcanoes that we go up aren't as cold as this one, so we're looking today apparently at minus 25 wind chill. It's going to be quite tricky.
Today is a nice day, windy for sure, but we will see the evolution of the day when we will reach the 3,000 meters. It's a big mountain, so like any other mountain, the weather can change 10 times in one day.
A little bit concerned, especially when everyone gets a bag on and realises what we've got ahead. But to get the data that we need all the thermal imaging cameras, we need the drone, heavy batteries. So it all comes at not an extra cost, but an extra weight. Just notice then you can start to see the trees swaying down here. So if it's breezy down here, it's probably blowing a gale at 3,000 meters.
Are you ready to go?
Does this go?
Yeah,
Does this go?
I think so.
Very excited to get on top and get my boots into some lava flow and some ash and get the smell of sulphur in my nostrils. And this road up to the summit of Aίτna is also used by hundreds of thousands of tourists every year. Now, just because hundreds of thousands of tourists flock here every year to see its beauty, it doesn't make it any less dangerous. I mean, what we have at the top is an erupting crater that throws lava bombs out in multiple directions, and if you were to be hit by one of them, it is almost certainly life-ending. We don't really want to be in the position where we have to take care of a casualty.
Joining me today is volcanologist Carmelo Falito.
Hey, Chris.
Morning. How's it
Hey,
going?
good morning. How's well, too?
Very well.
Well, ready for today?
Yeah. Drone's ready. Thermal camera. We've got
Helmets.
helmets. Hopefully we won't need them too much.
Well, they will just stay on our heads.
Yeah.
That's it.
The bag weighs an absolute ton. And I've got a 3,400 metre volcano to climb. Fun times.
Despite the dangers that lay ahead, the first part of our journey is deceptively easy.
It's quite a luxury getting a cable car. I'm not sure if I've had a more comfortable trip to the summit of the volcano. Get ready for the brutal conditions at the summit.
But there are already signs of what lies in store.
We've got strong wind gusts coming in, and we're only just above 2,000. Quite an eerie sound of the tension cable and the gusts of wind pushing through.
The problem about Aίτna is that it's a cone. So it's an isolated cone, 3,300 meters tall, and the summit has this conical, this cylinder shape. So here the wind is accelerated much more than usually is in normal mountains.
The wind like this is probably the worst condition for the drone mapping. The other objective, to collect a fresh lava bomb, this is where the wind can actually help us. If we're getting a strong gust in a positive direction, it might actually blow the lava bombs to one side of the crater. So it could ruin the whole exercise, but also it could be a blessing in disguise.
The next leg of our journey requires a 14-ton off-road Unimog truck.
Okay, Chris, this will be the Unimog that we're going to get. You see how big it is?
Yeah.
280 horsepower.
So we're relying on this beast to get us to 2,900, you say?
Exactly.
Yeah, we've got some challenging conditions. I mean, this isn't even a harsh winter, but we still have meters of snow outside. It could be a lot worse. But what we're really going to be faced with is some high winds, freezing temperatures, and some pretty rough volcanic terrain. So looking out the window behind me, we get our first close-up glimpse of the summit craters. If we're lucky, we'll see a small eruption soon.
Before we start our ascent on foot, we're reminded of just how devastating Mount Aitna can be.
Just coming over the edge here, you're just welcomed with this huge vista and this massive crater, 8 kilometers wide, 1 kilometer deep.
This is the Valle del Bove, a vast horseshoe-shaped depression carved into the eastern flank of Mount Aitna by past eruptions.
When we look down, we can see all different kinds of events that have taken place within this crater. We've had pyroclastic flows, and with quite recent lava flows here that would have threatened the towns that we have down on the coast. It's quite a stark reminder that a volcano like this is a threat to everybody in everyday life down in the cities and towns below.
And we're on the way to the summit to collect valuable data which will help volcanologists predict Mount Aitna's next move so they can continue to keep residents safe. We're about to go beyond the point that anyone else is permitted. As I'm working with INGV, I've got special permission to enter the exclusion zone and to climb to the summit.
Just about to begin, and there's our baby up there.
But the first section of the route, covered in ice and snow, is already proving a challenge for the crew. The magnitude of the trek ahead is starting to set in.
Conditions are tough. Yeah, it is cold, really cold, and yeah, there's a very, very eruptive, active volcano right behind us.
It's just such a steep hill up there.
The next challenge will be crossing a field of sharp volcanic rock.
Today we have to pass these lava flows. These are the lava flows of 2017. So are quite fresh lava flows, and it's not easy to walk on them.
In 2017, Aitna took journalists by surprise.
Oh, careful!
When the lava flows mixed with snow and caused huge explosions, pelting them with boiling rocks. Today we're crossing the lava flow created by this dangerous incident.
It's very easy to lose your footing. And it's extremely sharp as well if you were to fall. Probably sustain an injury, but worst of all, you'll rip your Gore-Tex. They're 500 quid, so you don't want to do that.
Ollie and Byron have fallen behind.
Yeah, we just got lost, but we're found our way again now. It's just climbing over lava.
We get to the old route, and then we cross the final section of lava.
Pretty tired already. It's like 300 meters we've got to climb today. I think we've gone up about 20.
We've reached the far end of the lava field, but all this exercise is having an adverse effect. We need to remove some layers to prevent a drop in body temperature.
You certainly don't want to be sweating up here.
It's the point where we have the opposite problem. We've got so many layers on that we're getting really sweaty.
And the volcano reminds us it's still very much active.
The ash emission there, awesome.
The more time you spend on the mountain, the more you're at risk. We need to hurry up and reach the summit while conditions still let us.
Right guys, if you can speed up a little bit, we're just concerned that the winds will start picking up and we won't be able to get the 3D map. If that's the case.
As we get higher, oxygen in the air decreases.
A bit short of breath.
Just at times, this is where I stop. I feel more out of breath than I should be.
But we can't slow down if we're to reach the summit.
Ah, the smell of sulphur.
Oh, it stinks.
Yeah, it smells good.
And as we edge closer, we're entering more dangerous territory.
So as we're going up, the middle of these two craters here, right on that saddle, we need to be careful, listen out for noise. Theoretically, we should be fine. The lava bombs should be going in the opposite direction, unless there's all of a sudden some kind of new activity.
But the crater above is highly unstable, and we're about to see just how dangerous this volcano can be.
Big rock. Rock! Rock!
Over there, watch!
Rock!
In Sicily, we're on a mission to collect data from the summit of Mount Aitna to help volcanologists predict its next move.
Oh, there's a nice one. That's a really nice one.
And we're about to enter the most treacherous section of the route.
Oh.
Beautiful.
You worried?
I'm excited.
Just me worried then.
Let's go.
The steep incline ahead is one vast dune of volcanic ash.
There we go. We're on it. The steep section.
So right in front of us now, it's just a big steep climb. It's like walking up a 400-metre staircase. It is throbbing. Head is throbbing.
Hard work with the volcanic sand.
So all this loose material means your footing's slipping every time you're pushing against it. It's kind of 2 up, 1 down, but it's the only way up.
We have to reach the summit as a team, and the crew are visibly suffering.
Now we're going straight up. Straight up. No zigzags, just to save time. Straight up this lunar landscape.
Whew. Right. Final push.
But it's not just physical exhaustion we have to worry about. Rolling down from the crater above are huge pieces of loose rock.
Helmet's on now.
Lava rock hat going on. Don't know how much good this is going to do, but better than nothing.
Big rock. Rock! Rock! Rock!
Everything here is so subject to failure because everything is unstable. And we have to be very careful.
If you get hit by one of them, yeah, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna really hurt. And if you take one to the chest, yeah, you've got potential that could take your life.
But not everyone on the mountain has a helmet.
Hey! Out that! That's a catchment area! Idiots. You literally just saw a load of loose debris everywhere and it goes directly into its zone. Idiots.
There are 2 policemen that will go down, and if they will catch you, you will be fined.
Okay.
So then it's up to you. I told you, you are warned, then it's really up to you. And you've seen how dangerous can be, because those stones were almost hitting you.
And you have no helmets? Nothing?
You have nothing. So you better just turn around and go back.
It's situations like that that cause the most accidents on volcanoes. People being completely unaware of the surroundings and potential danger of moving rock, unstable ground, and volcanic terrain.
Despite the dangerous conditions, we need to press on to the top to complete our data gathering mission.
You can tell we're nearly at the crater rim. Oh yeah. Well, you can see ejected material there.
Look, you see the ejected material?
Yes, yes, yes.
So on approach, The wind direction's currently pushing the gas over us, so let's just move out of it as quick as possible. We'll stick low and get round to an area where there's no gas.
Oh my God, it's on your tongue. It's so acidic. I'm so furious.
Finally, after an epic climb, we've reached the summit of Mount Aitna.
Now we start to see the crater. Awesome. Wow.
As soon as you pop your head over, you get the first glimpse. Huge lava bombs heading up into the air. Over 100 meters over your head. It was absolutely astonishing. But we can't stay here for long.
My idea is to walk along the ridge, turn a little bit around where you see those rocks. We will stay under those rocks and we will have a good view of the crater and stay away from this strong wind and stay away also from the gas. So just keep on moving. Okay. 5 more minutes.
Yeah, 5 more minutes walking, yeah?
5 more minutes walking, okay? So stay focused a bit on the walk.
Okay.
And we just follow the ridge.
As we move to a safer area, we get a front row view to one of the greatest shows on Earth.
Epic, epic. But this is why I love volcanoes. You come up here and you've got one kind of activity over there, throwing lava bombs literally in the air, a huge lava flow, and a crater that looks like it's from another world. Incredible.
And we're constantly reminded of Aitna's explosive power.
That was a big eruption. So that's what we need to be careful of. It's just thrown a load of lava bombs on a huge degassing event. It's just throwing new material everywhere. They're the samples we're after, but not from the top of the crater there. We need it where it's rolled down that slope.
Explosions are sudden, cannot predict anything.
The violent emissions are a constant reminder of just how dangerous our mission is.
There,
look at that.
you can see.
And you can see, even in broad daylight, that material is glowing red hot as it's just being thrown out of that crater.
We reach a more shielded location, and I need to get the drone up and start mapping this volatile volcano. As soon as I get the drone up, it's getting taken by the wind. I mean, I'm flying full throttle to try and get it around the crater in time. But unfortunately, it was a little bit too much for the drone. Also, batteries at -15, -20, they don't hold out for so long. So unfortunately, I had to bring the drone down with the map only half done. As well as the challenging weather conditions, the explosive eruptions pose a constant threat. Our time is limited on the dangerous crater edge. And since I can't keep the drone in the air to complete the 3D map, I need to focus now on getting a lava sample.
Ready to go? Time check.
Chris, we will just walk around the crater. We will walk up to the ridge, and if we won't see any fresh bomb on the ridge, we are not going down, because there is really dangerous. There's no way you can run up if there is an explosion. Now we run, we go and come back.
Yep, let's go.
To reduce the risk of casualties, we leave Ollie and Byron behind in the more protected area.
Just molten rock being thrown around behind us here. But we need to move quick. We've only got a really limited time on this summit. And now we're going to make the approach to that cone that we see erupting there to collect the fresh sample. Yeah, we don't know. As soon as we approach, we'll see where it's been landing and we'll see its fall zone, but we can't go inside the crater. If we're caught inside there when there's an eruption, it's game over.
it's not safe to spend more time than absolutely necessary in this dangerous zone. So we only have a limited time window to get this sample.
Wow. And you can just see how the materials also just lingers in the air just before it makes its way back to Earth. Just watch out for ice here, Caroline.
So we're getting over the ridge towards where we're getting the lava sample from, and it's just a vertical drop on each side.
Whoa! Whoa! They're just throwing material everywhere. And those rocks are landing close to the crater edge, just where we're approaching. Hopefully it means we'll get a fresh sample. Just watch out for your head.
We finally enter the lava bomb fall zone.
And this is where we do need to be careful. Because if there were material to come down, this is where it's coming down. Eyes up, Caroline! We got samples.
This is our moment, and we need to be quick.
Straight away?
Let's go! Right away!
Okay, final approach. Yeah, fresh samples. Still glowing.
Glowing.
Still red
go.
hot. It's red hot.
Okay, let's go.
You can still see it glowing inside. Let me get the gloves on. Let's get gloves on.
Okay, wait. Hurry up. Hurry up. Hurry up.
Yeah.
This is dangerous. Come on, come on, come on.
We got a fresh sample.
Okay.
A lava bomb. Still red hot. And as you see in front, fresh out of there. Wow. Awesome. But this isn't somewhere we want to be lingering around too long. We've got to get out of here.
Now run away, I say.
Yeah. Woo! I can smell this sample. That's still around 500 degrees Celsius, maybe more. So yeah, it's setting fire to the glove.
I finally captured a fresh lava bomb hurled from inside of Mount Aitna. Now we need to get away from the danger zone, and fast. In Sicily, we're in the middle of a data collecting mission on the summit of Mount Aitna. And I've collected a lava bomb blasted from deep inside this terrifying volcano.
Right, just be really careful here. We are still in a fall zone of potential bombs. So that is our fresh specimen. That is straight from the depths of Aitna. And as you see behind, we don't want to be lingering around. If you were hit by that, that would certainly take your life. And as you see, it's red hot. It's still, that's a welding glove. Good for up to 400 degrees Celsius, and it's burning all the way through it. It's awesome.
Before we head back to the rest of the team, I want to get a quick temperature reading.
Come on, powering up, powering up. We don't have all day. So we're just getting a quick read in there. So red, so that's 480. So that's just on the outside. So inside that sample is still red hot magma, and when it's born, it's about 1,000 degrees Celsius.
Yeah. Now let's go back. Can be dangerous here, very dangerous.
Agreed.
But the lava bomb is still too hot to carry, so we need to cool it down quickly with water.
With the water? You ready?
Let's do it.
Stay still, stay still. Keep on watching. Look at that, look at that.
Coming towards us.
We need to hold our nerve and keep a close eye on where the lava bombs are landing.
You're not going to get hit by one of those lava bombs and walk out of there. Now that one would have killed you. If you were hit by that, you'd be dead. Okay, let's move out of here.
Boiling, boiling rock. Okay, let's go.
Allez.
Allez, allez, allez. Okay, let's go, let's go.
Yeah. We are coming back.
We have to reach the rest of the team.
Watch up. That is exactly what we came for. I'm super stoked about that. As soon as we arrived, there was one massive eruption that just threw out a perfect specimen, perfect sample for us to collect. And just as soon as we reached it, it was glowing red. Still, the core of that would be about 1,000 degrees Celsius. Straight in there and got hold of it.
As we make our way back around the crater, the wind starts to pick up. And we can see how the volcano is changing before our eyes.
So behind, we see another lava flow. That is a brand new lava flow. You can see right at the forming of the river. We've got it moving down the slopes. That is brand new. This is new activity here. But we still need to move.
With the rest of our crew joining the pack, we make our descent.
Careful. Watch for stones. People are there right there.
We need to move a lot faster on the way down if we're to get off the summit before the weather closes in.
That's the way to do it.
We're making our way back to the Unimog now. Crossing the lava field, but we have to do it at pace. We're literally scaling across this as fast as possible.
Welcome, you made it.
Thanks, Carmelo.
We made it. Time for the night bus.
Night bus is like you're on your way back from a night out in Croydon.
I feel like I've been on a night out in Croydon. I've fallen over enough.
Made it. Entry and all.
Absolutely epic.
Right, so that right there is a still fresh, hot sample straight from Aitna. This is what Boris is after, and I think he'll be quite happy to receive that. That's what we were looking for.
So the importance of collecting this fresh sample is to keep a really close eye on Aitna's eruption. We want to make sure that we've got a refreshed, up-to-date image of the activity and we know exactly what's going on. The next morning, I head over to Boris's apartment to hand over the lava sample.
So hi, Chris.
Hey, Boris.
Come on inside, please.
I'm eager to find out what this hot rock can tell us about the volcano's current behaviour and what lies in store for the people of Catania.
There you go.
Oh, welcome.
How's it going?
Hello. How's it?
Very well, very well. I've got a sample and a 3D model.
So you still look like you're in one piece.
Just about.
Just about. Maybe you place the things over here. We're going to have a look at them in a moment.
Perfect.
Maybe first I'll show you the view.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Boris's apartment is in the foothills of Mount Aitna.
Sometimes,
wow.
sometimes it's amazing to think, would have been up there.
I see why this is your apartment.
That was one of the reasons we chose it. It's also earthquake resistant. Basically, we see everything that happens, at least on this side of the mountain. You really get the full dimension of things, the big things, when you're farther away.
Yeah. Do you want to check out the sample?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Fantastic.
Let me have a look.
The big reveal.
With the glove. So it looks like it was still hot.
It was very hot, yeah.
Wow. So that was fresh when you picked it up?
When I picked it up, it was about 3 minutes old.
Okay. That is one of the most amazing things, is that you hold something which is pretty much the newest rock on Earth. That's a completely crazy dimension, I think. That's one of those things where I think volcanology is the best job on Earth. So we're going to analyze this and see how this rock is similar or different to previous samples. So interesting to see, because if we see that this rock is still very crystalline, That means it is still kind of old magma which has been residing in the conduit for quite some time and undergone some cooling and crystallization. Because if we have new magma, which rises very, very fast, it's less crystalline, it's more primitive in composition. But normally, in such cases, we would also expect the activity to get more explosive because it's got more gas in it.
Perfect, so hopefully that sample will give you...
That's precious.
Some new data.
Okay, we're going to make good use of this.
I also hand over my unfinished 3D map.
So I'm just checking out the 3D map and images there. Although we didn't get to all the images that we really set out, and it's not the full 3D model that I would have liked, but given the time that we had, the collection was the best we could do. But I really hope that this data plus the lava sample will help.
Oh, it's always helpful. I think we also had partial data the other day and still made something of it. Really yeah, it certainly helps to understand more and more how the system works. So it's really precious to get as much information as possible anytime.
It's always nice to conclude an expedition or kind of an ascent of a volcano like that with something quite meaningful, and to be able to provide the sample that we came for. I can't stress the importance of how these bits of data add into this equation. Collecting fresh lava samples and 3D mapping, like we've just been doing on top of Aίτna, this is what keeps people safe. Applying the 4D data system and really gathering as much information as possible will help predict future eruptions. And at the end of the day, that's what keeps these people safe.
Our data gathering mission is now complete. But my sample indicates Aίτna is just gearing up to a ferocious period of volcanic activity. In 2021, Mount Aίτna erupts more than 50 times with a violent fire show of lava fountains. With each eruption, Aίτna spews up to 200,000 cubic meters of ash, which rains down on the towns and cities below. These powerful eruptions produce more than 100 million cubic meters of red-hot lava flows. And this colossal outpouring of molten rock creates a new summit of Mount Aίτna, rising to a whopping 3,357 meters. Sicily's story is only just beginning.
Aίτna will remain active for many years to come. I mean, this is just a small page or a chapter of Aίτna's eruptive history, and its story is far from over.
I'll be keeping a close watch on this infamous volcano.